The bad news is that Tomb Raider 2 with Alicia Vikander is no longer a possibility, but that doesn't mean that the much anticipated sequel is not happening. It is, though the second chapter will be a lot different than its predecessor. Different how? Keep watching to find out. Enjoy the video and the spoilers.
What do you know about my father?
Now I see the likeness, the recklessness.
Video game adaptations are back. With The Last of Us being renewed for a second season thanks to HBO, fans are now wondering whether they'll see the much-needed continuation of Tomb Raider as well. Tomb Raider was first introduced to us in 1996, and yes, the game franchise took the world by storm, with a lot of people interested in transforming this masterpiece into a film. So the number of screen adaptations Tomb Raider got should not be surprising, and even though many of these screen adaptations proved to be a disappointment, they still did great box office-wise. A perfect example of this is the 2018's version of Tomb Raider, which served as a reboot. The reboot was led by Alicia Vikander and was not met with many positive reviews, but it still managed to earn $300 million at the global box office. This is the exact reason why Warner Brothers decided to make another chapter that will hopefully fix all those mistakes we saw in the first installment. So guys, is Tomb Raider 2 officially happening? Well, the answer to this question is a bit complicated. But yes, we believe it's just a matter of time until the new creators confirm the sequel. So far, the sequel has been delayed several times, which is not a good sign. Warner Brothers first announced the sequel in development in October 2020, and the first delay came shortly after. Misha Green took over as writer-director in January 2021, and we really thought the production of the sequel was running great after this. But then Alicia Vikander shocked fans with a heartbreaking update in July 2022. Her announcement came shortly after it was revealed that the sequel is not happening because MGM lost the rights to the franchise. Back then, The Wrap reported that Vikander's departure is certain and the new film might serve as a new beginning, meaning that the next film could be the start of a brand new reboot. Swedish video game company Embracer Group acquired Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, Square Enix Montreal, and a catalog of their IPs Tomb Raider. This makes the future of the franchise quite uncertain. Well, it all started when MGM lost the rights to the franchise, and as mentioned before, the following update confirmed that Alicia Vikander won't return to reprise her role as Lara Croft. Warner Brothers really wanted to make a sequel to the 2018 film, with the company trying hard to make this work. When Misha Green was later attached to direct the project, we thought things were going great. In fact, everything seemed fine because the sequel was scheduled for release in 2021. But because of the global pandemic, the film faced many delays, which was only the beginning of a difficult journey.
Close the tomb once and for all. The fate of humanity is now in your hands.
Per report by The Wrap, MGM was given a certain period of time to approve a sequel. More precisely, they needed to make a decision by May 2022. However, they also risked losing their rights. The studio then gave a green light to a sequel, and other studios all over the world battled for the rights. This brings us to the very beginning because the project is now without a director and without a cast. Vikander explained how she felt when all of this happened in an interview with Digital Spy, saying that with the MGM and Amazon buyout, she has no clue about the future of Tomb Raider. Now it's kind of politics. I think Misha and I have been ready, so it's kind of in somebody else's hands, to be honest. She also said that you need to smash that subscribe button and like button if you haven't done it already. To be honest, we have no clue. Everyone appears to have lost interest in the franchise, with fans of the 2018 film begging to see Alicia Vikander reprise her role as the title character, Lara Croft. I personally enjoyed Vikander's performance as Croft, and I would love to see the actress return because her performance was obviously the most prominent feature of the film. But as aforementioned, I don't think it's likely that we'll see her again in this franchise. If Vikander does return, we would also expect to see her co-stars that survived the first installment. This is only if the new creators decide to do a sequel rather than a brand new reboot. If a sequel goes under development, we expect to see Kristen Scott Thomas as Anna Miller. Her character was obviously preparing for something big. We would also love to see Dominic West as Lara's archaeologist father, Richard Croft, but he'll need to appear through flashbacks. Unfortunately, there's no chance that we'll see Walton Goggins as Matthias Vogel if the new owners to the right of the franchise decide to make a reboot. Expect to see a whole different cast. This is interesting because this way another actress would play the toddler character. Who do you guys think is the best fit for the part? What could Tomb Raider 2 be about? Oh man, can you believe it's been 2 decades since we saw Angelina Jolie as Tomb Raider protagonist Lara Croft? That was certainly a long time ago. Jolie's performance in the 2003's film was unbelievable, and even back then people knew this wasn't the end. Square Enix's 2013 video game reboot happened and people still wanted more. With Tomb Raider and the 2015 sequel Rise of the Tomb Raider, fans hope that this franchise will last longer because, let's face it, Tomb Raider holds the potential for many continuations. 3 years later, a brand new franchise was born with Oscar-winning Alicia Vikander in the starring role. But why was this franchise so successful? What was so special about it? For starters, the creators of the screen adaptation tried to stay as loyal to the source material as possible. And this is quite difficult because these are two different mediums and sometimes changes are necessary. If a sequel is happening, it would have to continue right after the events of the first installment. The creators wouldn't be able to put the ending of the first film aside and continue with a different story. But if the next film is a new beginning, the creators could easily ignore the conclusion of the first movie. I have to ask, do you guys think a brand new reboot is a better option than a direct continuation of the 2018 film? Let us know. So what exactly happened in the 2018 film? Well, for starters, our beloved protagonist saved the world by stopping a deadly virus from escaping the doom. She then returned to London and was happy with the position at her father's company. This seemed like a happy ending, but no, shortly after, she found out that Trinity, the villain group that wanted to release the virus, was directly linked to Croft Holdings through Trinity's parent company, Patna. Anna Miller, the business partner of Lara's father, is the leader of Patna, and Lara discovers that Anna was working with Vogel and Trinity this whole time. In the post-credit scene, we're seeing the toddler character buying the twin guns from the video game. Thus, she's ready to fight Trinity. This seems like the perfect plot base for the sequel, but again, we still don't know whether a direct continuation is happening. The second film could also focus on the events from the Rise of the Tomb Raider video game sequel. For those not familiar, the first film took inspiration from the Crystal Dynamics' 2013 reboot of the gaming franchise. We also know that you need to smash that subscribe button and notification bell so you'll never miss any of our videos in the future. The sequel game follows Lara's journey in the lost city of Kitez, following her father's study into immortality. There's a character called MacGuffin that can give what Lara seeks, something called a divine source. It may take a long time until we learn what's next for Tomb Raider, but once that information is revealed to the public, we'll give you an update. See you in the next video.